plenty as well. We've got two smokes, flashbangs to work with here on the Immortals side, a PD-50 for Bolt as well, and it looks like we've got some aggressive play as well. Virtus Pro pushing down emphatically, Bialy leading the charge, trying to find the first frag.
I said they'd set the pace on CT. I thought they'd let it dictate itself. They seemingly want to fight. Bialy gets low to the mid position, and he's actually going to go underpass. He could catch them off quickly because smoke went down. He's perfectly between them, but he's got to get the kill early because his back is going to be turned. Good fight. Neo adds to it, but as we watch off camera, KNG and Lucas give the advantage to Immortals with a bomb down. They slipped in behind through the apartments quickly. Bialy wants to retake toward them. There's one in Boiler. Shot toward the hallway. He realizes that KNG's missed it. Gone for the reload. He's got to jump away and buy time. And Bialy's going to commit to the chase. There's no kit for Bialy to play with. There's no kit for Virtus Pro at all. The kills have to come quick, and they're not. Bialy's down to 2 HP. Taz is left alone. He's going to go aggressive. Bialy's joined back in to distract. Is Bialy's job. He's gotten Lucas busy. Gives Taz a chance. Steel gets the kill. Immortals start off with the pistol.
They do indeed. The aggressive play from Virtus Pro. They're trying to get in the grill, set the tone of the match. It's unorthodox pushing 4 players down middle like that. Bialy, he had to be the disruptor. He had to find that first kill down second middle, found himself in a difficult position as he fell back. Immortals in front of him as well, going for the apartments. They outpositioned them, and one player in second middle just bought so much time that the bomb goes down. The retake began, and like you said, no kits available for Virtus Pro. Meant Immortals do indeed pick up the pistol here. We're not going to have the force buy from Virtus Pro. More conservative approach here. We're going to have P250s, Deagles, 5.7s, but 5 smoke grenades. That's what they opted for. That's where they've kind of made the decision to try and be more defensive here. Lock out Immortals as long as possible, ride that clock down, make them feel uncomfortable, and see if the crossfires with the pistols will work out for them. A 4-player stack towards B at the start. They were hoping Immortals make a mistake and rush B at the very start of the round. It hasn't happened, and we do see Neo indeed fall back. In terms of firepower, Taz has a Desert Eagle. Immortals with 3 AK-47s, 2 SMGs to work with as well, and a default round. This is what you like to see from a T-side anti-force buy situation. We're going to hold up on the default, bleed out any sort of utility, get information, work out there's a stack, and play like this. Have the buddy system rolling. Try and get any sort of refrag. If you get any danger here, you get the refrag straight away.
Pasha's the one toward the arch. Lucas spots the shoulder. Slight damage in, not a huge amount from the AK. Just 66 left for Pasha to work with. Has a smoke. They've got 3 of them. Pasha making contact seems to lead off toward B, where smokes are actually more effective, as we know, through single choke points. Leaves Bialy and Neo alone toward A. Commitment from Immortals. Lucas is going to be the first one to get close enough to make contact. He's got to be a little bit cautious of his positioning. Wary of the fact that Neo is behind the half wall. Bialy is going to bait it, wait underneath the balcony.
25 seconds now, the final perimeter comes in. Lucas is on the side, but Bialy and Neo biding their time. They're doing a little bit of chip damage there, but there's only 1 kill coming in so far. Pasha picks up the AK-47. He'll be falling back, looking to save that weapon. I think that makes the most sense at this point, Matt. They have lost the round, essentially 4 players alive, and they're going to make the safer decision to just fall back, save the AK with the Deagle, with the PD-50 as well, and they can use that next round. A similar approach coming in. So wise and informed from Virtus Pro there. Immortals decent though, as we described. They did everything perfectly there to get some decent map control, making sure they're refragging. 1 player went down, it was instantly dealt with, and the CTs have to go packing. But Pasha, more importantly, he's got a 5.7 in his back pocket as well. Drop that for a teammate, and he's got the AK to work with. We'll see if that has any sort of damage going into the next round.
As the fans come alive, will be carried over early for the Virtus Pro side. UMPs stay in the hands of Henny and Bolts. What's KMG do? Because he's the one that lost the gun. Doesn't have armor, doesn't have anything. He's not made a decision. Okay, back to an AK-47. You could see perhaps that he would think about saving for an AWP, but Henny's the one that has an SMG that can build the cache.
3 smokes coming out once again. They have a bit of a buffer here, Virtus Pro, considering they didn't get the armor in the previous round. The 5.7 gets dropped, and like we said, Pasha biceps, he's got the armor, he bought some body armor, he's going to try and cause some damage here. We'll have a look at his position. Going towards B at the start once again. They went for that 4-man stack. Deciding against it, Pasha still going to stay at the B side for now. Neo rotates back over to Bialy. That's where the pistols will be. They're hoping the B side of play works out for them here, but once again, controlled, methodical play from Immortals. Looking quite disciplined this tournament, I have to say. It's quite refreshing. They were always the erratic team who try to get in there as quickly as possible and try and find frags, but this is a nice approach so far. Bolts and Henny, they work towards Banana, but their teammates with the bomb is controlling apartments for now.
So the AK for Pasha stays top B. CT to be completely exact. The Snacks rotates around. Slow play Immortals, Steel grabs bomb. Neo is the one that's made contact early. They've actually bypassed his position. Steel next up. Lucas hits the shot before he even needs to peek the corner, so opening entry point. Pasha again stays over toward B. They'll let him stay for a while. I take that back, excuse me. He's inside. And rotated towards CT, but I don't imagine if they make contact and get the site cleanly, he'll go back for it. Taz, good find on the Deagle. That kill might change that prediction because the problem is they want to keep that AK. Now, obviously, if they can bring that into another round, it's going to be massive for them. Yeah, so kills coming in, they'll immediately back off and give the round up. Give it away because AK is more important at this point.
Save the AK-47 for sure. They've got a UMP on that side of the map as well, so that's beneficial. Going to that first gun round, it did invest quite a lot into that round in terms of smoke grenades, patching in the body armor as well. Definitely wants to save that rifle. Immortals know it. You see KNG and Steel making their way towards the B site, trying to take them down. Taz, he's patrolling CT spawn, only got that SMG. It's Pasha who's done the new boxes. He can find a couple of kills here and start to get himself in towards the game. He finds these frags, he can actually take the AK into the next round, but that's going to be a difficult task in itself. You can see that he's heavily committing and succeeding by the looks of things as well. They find Pasha.
Yeah, they want the gun back. Taz can't get any more than a single kill. We'll give him a little bit of damage and money on the SMG. But the AK goes down. 3 are surviving on the Immortals side. And he has enough for the AWP if he drops it over to Bolts. Drops the AK, that is. And really... Okay, I was going to say, pause. I imagine it's technical. It's a headset issue. It appears to be for Pasha. I've got a headset issue too, Henry. It's that I can't hear anything inside of my own ears.
Yeah, but it certainly makes things exciting, right? Yeah, you know, it's all good. We can handle that for now. 3-0 for Immortal. It's the first gun round. The buy's not going to be amazing for VP. Sure, they didn't completely force buy into it, but they only saved themselves about $500 in that second round. So the AWP, it's possible. Taz would have to drop it, and he'd be lacking utility, potentially body armor as well, depending on which way he went with it. They have 1 kit so far, a couple of M4s purchased. Immortals patiently lie in wait here. Henny has brought out the AWP.
I was going to say, yeah, so he did drop to Bolts. Leaves Bolts with 5,600, 4,950 for Lucas. Got a bit built up. Rest of the buy. As Virtus Pro and Iceland salute each other.
Well,
the rest of them will not buy it. Remember as well, let's not forget, Immortals had no choice but to be patient because Henny caused 1 delay yesterday, and Lucas caused another, both which were very avoidable.
Yep, if you're wondering what we're referencing there, Henny actually punched his mouse in anger yesterday. His only mouse, just to note as well, didn't have a spare.
That's a good point.
Punched that, broke the right mouse button. As an AWPer, that's not great. And hopefully he's learned his lesson. That won't be happening again today. They do indeed have Zowie sponsoring the sort of mouse. I'm sure we've got plenty of mouses in the back.
Plenty of mice.
No, plural for PC mice is mouse.
His mouse still, really? Yep. Well, didn't know that. There you go. The more you know every day. You invented the language. Pasha teaches it at the Pasha London School.
He does, he does. He does a very good job as well.
Maybe he would have taught me that.
Well, AWP for Henny, like you said. Unorthodox to kick that off so quickly on the T side. It's a difficult weapon to really get rolling with. But up against the weaker money of Virtus Pro, I guess it makes sense. You're not going to have anyone dueling you at the very start. You can get a little bit closer, go for the opening duels yourself.
This is the call you make. I mean, Taz, if he really wanted to, at 5,400, could drop an AWP over. It limits him.
Think it's worth it.
Exactly. I was going to say, I'm not 100% sure I'd be on board with it. He's going to drop it to Pasha. Pasha's already got an M4. But he's just shy of the mark of getting himself an AWP. We still wait for the headsets. Not the Brazil team we would have, or Brazilian team we might have expected to be in a semifinal, to be honest.
I think this is one of the craziest, most erratic majors we've ever had. Like, it's still kind of strange we're coming into the grand final, and it's potentially not going to be, well, there's not going to be a top 10 team there. So categorically, that's not going to happen. Virtus Pro, they go deep in almost every single major they attend. They're always be expected to bounce back. That's such a cliche and boring thing we're saying at this point. Yep. But it's true. They're here at the major once again, battling for place in the grand final, so you can't argue with the results, really.
They and Fnatic are the only 2 teams that have been legends at every single major.
Yeah.
Not to mention, like you said, it's been unpredictable. Gambit is in the final. Congratulations to them. Great
Amazing
performance against not only everyone in the group stages, but Astralis in a semi-final.
A team that had question marks around them coming into this tournament. We hadn't seen them for so long. They had been off the radar. They hadn't really attended many tournaments, and just completely running away with this tournament, getting to the grand final, the first team there. I don't think anyone was going to be able to predict that. We thought playoffs were always possible for those guys, but grand final, I wouldn't have ever guessed that. So just to keep you updated on the server, it is indeed Pasha with the headset issue at the moment. Normally quite easy to sort out. He uses in-ears as well, so maybe he has to get those replaced. He's disconnected from the server, so it'll be a PC restart. And hopefully we'll be underway very shortly. If you are just joining us, you haven't missed much. It's the first map of the semi-final. Virtus Pro versus Immortals. Immortals winning the pistol game of 3-0. I have to say, tip my hat to them in terms of their approach on their anti-force buy situations. Not being sloppy, they're making sure they're having a really solid game plan. Zach's obviously sat down and helped the team out and managed to work out the problems. That was a massive issue for them for so long. If you remember back to the major qualifier for Atlanta, that was something I was like losing my mind about at times, the way they just keep rushing B and having these horrible approaches on their anti-eco. So this is looking much better for them. They're looking like a better unit. They've always had very good fraggers and a huge skill ceiling, but some of the fundamentals of Counter-Strike eluded them at times. But obviously, like we said, the first major for them, after trying to get hit so many times, to make it to a semi-final, that's pretty epic, I have to say.
Well, we get back underway. First gun round. Virtus Pro do bring out the AWP. It's on Snacks.
Snacks is really solid on Inferno warping. Like, he's very aggressive. He'll go towards B. He'll be dancing around the top of that car position, trying to find the first pick.
This has to be aggressive as well, because look at the lack of utility.
Yeah, he has to.
4 smokes, 1 kit. Neo's the one that has it. He's got head armor to go along with it. Shot doesn't land on the AWP from Snacks. He's tagged! But the second one works, goes for Henny. Can't find a follow-up. As Bolts gets the kill and he immediately retreats, smartly so, as the nade was thrown his direction. It would have put him down.
Yeah, Snacks aggressive, potentially too aggressive there. 18 HP, went for the reface. He wants to get those kills in his favor. Still didn't feel like that was enough work done. 4-4 now, and as you said, a lack of utility. 1 kit as well, 1 smoke remains. Banana Control gifted towards Immortals at this point. Steals at the end of apartments as well. The bomb still in second middle. So we could have Steel completely sell something towards the A side, pull a rotation over there potentially, but Bolts, look at him. He's already in towards the B side itself, trying to find the first pick. Can he get it? Smokes himself in towards CT spawn. Pasha, does he find him? I don't think he does. They walk past each other, but it's Pasha. He gets him. The timing works in his favor.
What a turnaround play. That shuts down anything inside of the site. Because if Bolts gets by and finds Pasha on that KNG push and they wrap onto Taz, it becomes a big problem. Meanwhile, Lucas still has bomb over toward the A site. Steel is in the apartments waiting for the time to enter. KNG is flirting as close as he can inside of the site. Oh, what a flick! Snaps back at Pasha, which he overlooked originally, gets caught out. He knows Taz is somewhere still inside of it. Backs away, scoped in, and he may actually go through CT to join his teammates. Taz peeks him at the right time to shut it down! And the White Death, Bialy, steps up for 2. Virtus Pro find round 1.
Door KNG had done enough there. That flick shot to CD spawn, that was absolutely nuts. Taz, though, with the timing, patient as ever, waiting a new box, timed it to perfection. Calls are going towards A, he spots him going towards CD spawn. The guys at the A bomb site shut it down. Snacks, I don't think we quite caught it. He did this bounce flash off the floor that goes over the wall at that point as well. It was really, really nice. Here's the replay. And when he does take down Henny eventually, lovely shot. Went for another one. Taken down, could have gone either way, but still Virtus Pro keep decent numbers up, and the AWP as well. Snacks aggressive, of course, trying to find the first pick once again. Can he get it? Of course he can. Takes down Bolts. 5-4 once again.
And back off this time immediately. And they won't put as much pressure onto Banana. As you said last time, they were almost gifted it after taking Snacks down.
Yeah.
They're given room to work with, but they won't go for it. They're scared now.
This is why Snacks is so good at orbing Inferno. He's just relentless. He doesn't care. He's not scared. He wants to get in their faces. Flashes over. Did the same thing last round. He does it in the second as well. It's currently 3-1 in Virtus Pro, but they've got the man advantage round number 5. And he's still the AWP. Money is limited for Immortals as well. You can see they've got a Galil, only 3 smokes remaining themselves. And he's hoping a mistake is made, but Snacks boosts up his teammate. That's Taz. And he'll sit on the bomb side as well. A lot more passive approach this time as Immortals make their way towards middle. Though he's smoked out for now. That's the play here. Presumably wait for the smoke to subside and allow Henny to try and find the next pick.
Flash over, Henny jumps through. Archway covered as well. Very passive angle to hold for Pasha. Goes all the way to Moto. In fact, he's going to go inside of the site, so they have to be cautious of an arch wrap. Front side library smoked off. They can turn back through CT. One player waiting bottom banana if they want to go for the banana split. But with 3 toward arch instead, yeah, it's more likely this is the play. And Pasha giving it up, they have to be aware. Neo's positioned accordingly. Bialy's still watching quad, and Pasha's now waiting for them to come through. Neo positioned, as I said. When the smoke dissolves, gets one, drops down. He now has the headshot angle to control, and Pasha's going to take advantage of it, try and pop back out. But Neo has got the kill. You're right, time is gone. Taz may rotate over, but there's no time for the plant. And he gets one more, but it doesn't matter. It's 3-2, Virtus Pro 2 in a row. And after the time, no money for Henny.
Could have been huge. Evan Bashi found both of those kills. They've got absolutely nothing left. They do manage to save the AK and the AWP there, but still in economic turmoil here. They're going to have to balance the books, force up around it. Won't have much next round regardless. So Desert Eagles, Tech 9s, and the saved weaponry is a nice shot from Henny, but it's too slow at that point. You can see them, they wanted to go towards CD Spawn and have that B split. Had they done that though, they were still lost around. Snacks was at New Box watching CD Spawn like a hawk. It was a lovely setup for Virtus Pro. Great positioning from Neo as well, guaranteeing frags, delaying them even further. Gets to that pip, they can't find him, and he wins the round. 3-2 now. Immortals have to force buy into this one. I think Henny keeps his money. Oh, here's one that died after the time of last round. So he's just on a Glock and nothing else. He had absolutely nothing.
Keep in mind, he's your primary AWP player.
Yeah.
KNG has it this round.
But he's been the star for Immortals. In terms of AWPing, he's been arguably much better than Henny. So I feel like this is absolutely fine. He's been the more dynamic, aggressive, and assertive player. We'll see what happens here. He's coming towards the end of the apartments. There's 3 players on the other side. Flashes are good. Bialy to defend.
That flash was so well timed. Pasha still goes down to KNG as he almost backed into it. Lucas, good trade. So the 2 guns get the advantage, work the site, and Neo is completely surrounded. How is he alive still and gets a kill? KNG dropped. The op's available, so too is the M4 Henny picks up. And what's the call going to be? Good in utility in that they have an incendiary, a smoke, an AWP, an M4, and 2 kits. Gives them a little bit of time to get the setup, which will be Taz getting in position more than anything. Snacks, quick peek. No one in pit peeking out in return. Are they going to back off? He's trying to find an angle, bait them out with his individual shots, pull them back to a favorable position, but no one's taking the bait. And Taz is going to sit back and hope for exit. So Immortals will double back up. They'll go 4-2. And it was with just an AWP and an AK-47. That saves them in terms of economy.
Nice work by Immortals. They're up against it. 1 AWP and the AK with the pistols as well. Taz can hear the footsteps towards second mid. Might head on Henny. There it is. One shot will come in. It's something. As he saves his weapon and keeps limiting the economy further of Immortals. But they do take the lead now, 4-2. And it's a difficult situation for the VP side here. It's almost exactly the same as what Immortals went through last one. They've saved an AWP and a rifle, and they have to force up around now. Little to nothing, really. Max 7 coming out for Pasha. Known to be an extraordinary shotgun player, so maybe he can cause some damage here. A couple of UMPs to balance things out as well. But Immortals, they have lost the AWP. Down to just rifles here themselves. This is a huge round. Snacks aggressive once again. He's got the AWP. Flashes round, can't find anything just yet, but still wants to keep battling here. Trying the wall bang. No damage inflicted just yet.
Back off, can't get there, nade hits, and then Henny follows it up with a single bullet. Just through the edge of the smoke, but either way, he has the top banana to work with. Taz flirting with it, but it's the silenced M4 that Henny's carried over, which, loses that inside of the smoke to get the AWP and takes back. I say benefits it because they won't be able to see the fact that he's spraying inside of it. Back and forth battle with money the whole time. SMGs and a shotgun for Pasha. A bomb back toward A, 2 players only to hold. Push back over from Neo. Quick check to arch side. No, they are not there yet. They are going. Good find from Steel. We catch it just as we snap back into first person. Leaves only 1 in the A site.
Yeah.
KNG should hold for rotations. They'll push B. Bomb will wait for further information. KNG goes all the way back around the factory library. Neo's a sitting duck. Shoulder spotted already. Steel wants to bait him out, make him go aggressive. Round done. 5-2 for Immortals.
Absolutely. 5-1 situation. Taz on the B side. Nothing can really do about that. It was a force buy from VP. We had SMGs, a shotgun there as well. Snacks, he knew he had to work hard at the start. He has been hyper-aggressive, but only really towards Banana. It seems that they're kind of anticipating that right now. They're nading him, as we saw. You mentioned it. He got naded on the corner, then sprayed through the smoke. Sure, he is great at going aggressive, but it seems like they've kind of got his number at this point. It's going to be Taz to go down out of the hands of Bolts to finish things off there. That should call for an eco of the VP side. And you got second saves loss bonus. That means $1,900 per player. As you can see, that one coming up on your screens momentarily. It's about 2K. So nothing really can be purchased around this one. Have to take the eco, maybe P250s at best. 2,400 on top of this. It's not really worth if you can get the P250s out. I think every last dollar is going to count at this point. Maybe just rush down middle, get it over with, see what we can do. Go for some refrags, but the thing is, Immortals have been so good at these rounds. I don't think they're giving up a single frag this time. Bialy, he gets taken down to 37 very early on in the round there.
Keep in mind that if Big didn't, well, Legia have a whiff on the pistol, not to point out one player in an overall series, but if they had won the pistol on the CT side yesterday, they were shutting down Immortals quite effectively. The fact that Immortals already are up to 5 rounds and now in control of the money is a bit worrying for VP because we know how aggressive they will get on CT. We know how in the face and confident they are. Taz is in a bit of problem, a bit of trouble. The tag burned and pushed back. Snacks is still waiting to get baited in. Snacks is tagged even further. This time, finally, he backs off. Meanwhile, Entrance is on A. Lucas and KNG. Neo gets one for free. Oh! Taz follows it up! Unexpectedly, they find 2, but is it enough for the round? Not necessarily. Steel certainly confirms that it's not. I can't imagine Snacks with 12 HP pulling off anything beyond that, so he walks through. Steel gets that kill as well. 6-2.
Had to be the full eco there. Not really much Virtus.pro could do. I'm surprised he even got 2 frags. Neo's been a bit of a beast towards that pit area. Great positioning and nice aim as well. It's 6-2 though. It's going to have to be a bit of a climb back into this game from VP. Great gun round, especially that all from Snacks. Very exciting stuff, but can't afford it this time. We're going to have 4 M4s, a UMP. Snacks has to buy the UMP. They need at least one person with a kit here. All about for KNG. Like we said, he's been taking this main AWP role because he's just looked so good. Why not? And he's definitely the main AWP for the team, but in this event, I think they've decided that KNG, he's been the stronger player.
KNG, speaking of, king of the castle as he climbs into Boiler. Starts to walk down, scoped in at the ready. Oh, I can't find the angle. He's tagged on the 9 as well. Gates just clipped through the edge of the wall, or cleanly, I'm not sure. M4 suggests cleanly, but he doesn't find the shot in the AWP, and that's going to favor Virtus, even though they're pushed back ever so slightly, so a very passive hold once more in the A site. Not so much a Banana. Look at the position of Snacks. Or the former position, I guess, as he backs off. Doesn't want to sit there with just the SMG.
They were battling for the presence at the very start, but now the utility's starting to run out for Virtus.pro. They've got an incendiary, 1 flashbang and a decoy. That's it. And Immortals haven't made their final commitment yet. They're still fully equipped. They've got all their smokes, the Molotovs, the flashbangs. I don't know how VP hold this one off. I don't think there's much chance of it. Someone's have to step up and try and find a frag before they fully commit. Especially with this AWP coming in as well, KNG. 40 seconds remain. They've done significant damage to the AWP, but is that enough? They still don't have any real information. You see they're burrowed away on the A side there with the crossfires, which is fine, but with the lack of utility and not being able to do much with that, I think that's a bit of a problem. Bolts heading towards B by himself. I think he just throws 1 smoke and will fall back. KNG with mid control, and the teammates coming for apartments as well. Flashbang momentarily, and here's the final commitment.
Out they go. Quickly, Neo, he looked up. He's still not realized they're directly above. We'll fire eventually. It swings out. Still, he has more company though at the balcony. A quick rotation back with 5 HP. No chance at saving it. KNG perfectly positioned to clothesline Virtus.pro, and they look to be out of this round as well. Taz in 1 versus 3 is already backing off. Money is in the bin still as Virtus.pro are about to find, I believe, their 5th in a row. Will be their 4th in a row, so it's not even a max loss bonus for VP to work with.
Yeah. And we're going to call a timeout as well for VP, which makes sense. Just need to calm things down. What's going on the problem here? They're either going super aggressive or they're very passive. I think that round you need a mixture of the both. We had to be flashing over and challenging for a frag at least towards our mid position. It seemed very difficult to hold them off. You could see, Matt, when they came in at the apartments, arch and quad side, you need to be able to smoke off one of those areas. You need an incendiary at the apartments at least, so Neo can help out Bialy towards the quad. He's had nothing to work with there. It's too much to manage. Have Immortals time there, execute very well. They're going to run away with that round. I didn't think there'd be much chance for them there. Only 2 players survived for Immortals, so they stay relatively modest, but their money's already skyrocketing. 2 players above $10,000 as the reinvestments come in. And Virtus Pro, they saved the M4 Sure. And as you mentioned, maximum loss bonus into the next round. I mean, if you lose 5 rounds in a row, you get $3,400 per player. But that saved him for right now. There's not really much you can do. You can justify some 5-7s, maybe some HE grenades, nade down towards Banana, try and challenge that. But Immortals have been so good. They've been so disciplined. They're not giving anything away at the very start. Anything you want to try and do is aggressive at the very start. You're not finding anything.
Here we go.
So we get PG-50s as the claps come back in. Smoke grenades, flashbangs, no kits. It's up to Taz to try and find some frags at Redder number 10. 7-2 is the overall scoreline here. The Porsche comes through, and VP find anything with this situation. They're the sort of team that always seems to, Map. Maybe they can do it again here.
Nades to the top of Banana. No damage really taken from it. Neo aggressive with the P250 finds one, looks for a second, he's got a chance, as Steel's on the run. But Steel's got the better gun, and he finds both Pasha and Neo. Bolts gets his way into the cubby at the top of Banana. Snacks is the next in line. Taz on the M4 has to back well off. 5 HP. Where does he even hide at this point? The last place he'd look is in death. He'll go to the graveyard. Only with the P250 is all that remains there for at B. Do economic damage at this point, do anything. Because Immortals are in a very good position in this map.
Yeah. I have to say, Immortals, they're playing this perfectly so far, Matt, in terms of the way they're approaching the game and waiting for VP to make the first move, bleeding them out. And once they know they've got nothing left in terms of the money situation, they're reading it perfectly every single time as well. Going together as a 5-man unit, only giving away about 1 frag each round. It's looking very promising for them. They're going to be ending up winning the half this time, 8-2. Virtus Pro, though, trying to save the M4A4. We did say they'll get a lot of money next round. We have a timeout coming in. Virtus Pro in the previous, do they call it again? It makes sense. You don't want to slow down if you're Immortals right now. Everything's going so well. Stick to it. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Well, that was one thing we did say about the original usage of 4 timeouts when that was implemented in August of 2016. So almost a full year now. Is that you can break momentum. And I remember Liquid doing it at ESL New York last year and talking to Hiko, and he said it's almost very frustrating, but it makes sense. Late game, just slow the pace down, break the other team, even if they're getting ahead. If you win a round, slow it down so that they have to think about the frustration. But at this point, Virtus Pro with the max loss bonus, yeah, it makes perfect sense. And you're already pointing at what I think you're pointing at.
Well, yeah, it's the double orb setup on the CT side. This is actually a tactical timeout from Immortals, just to note as well. Double orb setups with Pasha. We talked about this in the pregame. He's been fantastic for VP in terms of finding form in the AWP again. He's definitely been pivotal at finding the success to get into the semi-finals so far. But you can see still, it's lovely work just to stay alive, holding a decent position, making them come to him. It was a really nice work, and we go to run number 11, the double orb setup. When things get a bit desperate, this is normally the go-to procedure. So Pasha and Snacks. I'd like to see Snacks be a little bit more passive. Sure, he's had 2 great frags so far, but that's all he's got now. He's on 2 for 7 right now. And for someone as kind of well-versed in the CT side or on Inferno, you'd expect him to maybe just hold the lines a little bit more at this point and stop challenging so emphatically at the very start. He does go towards Banana, uses the nade, not bouncing flashes over this time, so still hunting for the frag, but not committing to the full corner peek here.
Flash does go high in the sky as Snacks behind the bags, gets partially blinded. Aggressive stance from Virtus Pro toward Boiler. They are known for it in the previous iteration, not so much in Inferno. Again, their map stats don't really suggest that they've been playing this map often or well. Snacks tries for the new existing wall bang. So too does Lucas toward the Atrium. Top quad boost for Immortals. Excuse me, for Virtus Pro.
The scary thing about this for Immortals is they're just running defaults every single time and finding great success. They haven't had to change their game plan whatsoever. They've been controlling the money and the pace of the game, and Virtus Pro haven't really had the answer for it so far. If Immortals are chucking a banana rush at some point into it, I'm not sure you better hold that off. But for now, it looks like they head back towards B after showing presence in the middle. We can see the CT's a bit more aggressive this time. We have Pasha on the corner. Also, Bialy backing him up as well. I think he might be boosted up on quad. He is indeed. So they're actually challenging this time, and it could work out for them. Here comes the first frag. Bialy can't find it. It's up to Pasha now. Trying to do what he can. Hits the shot, but has to fall back.
And it's a perfect bait and switch, but it doesn't work for Neo because they chase the AWP. By that time, they walk around the corner. Still, Lucas finds the kill. Snacks is pushed out of B. Bomb has not gone this way too often. It's usually mid to late with big advantages. This time it's 17 seconds when the bomb goes down, and Snacks, they know the AWP is in position, but he's alone for a while, in fact. Pasha doesn't even look like he fancies it on a double off retake, and if Snacks hits the first one, you might give him a chance. He's most unorthodox in these situations, but Immortals are going to go 9-2. This is not at all the start Virtus.pro wanted. Remember, it's their second game today in this building. First one was very successful against North.
Yes, absolutely.
This one's taking a while to burn into it.
Well, it's, like we said, it's a map. We don't usually see them on that often, and Immortals have looked very good on this recently. The first team to shut down big on this map. They were 3-0 here. They shut down SK Gaming, FaZe, Cloud9. Immortals were the first team to beat them on it, so that's something in itself. That just goes to show you they're very comfortable on this map, and Virtus.pro, maybe not so much. That was the first time they brought out the double AWP setup. Didn't really get that much done again. The smoked out at the very start. The defaults look good. Virtus.pro actively fighting for more frags to the start. That Bialy boosted on the core position. Pasha was beneath him with the AWP as well. Even Neo was getting stuck in the quad side. They're getting out fragged. The flashes were just 2-1 point from Immortals. They couldn't hold it off. And it's 9-2. Double AWPed once again. Doing everything they can at this round. Won't be a force buy here. I think it's just Snacks who's gone all in. The rest of the players with Desert Eagles and CZ, they know they start posting some rounds now, so it's a gamble for sure, but let's see if it works out for Snacks.
This is so tight, so critical. And Pasha gets away with it, backs off as well. They've got another position player in quad. He's supported, but Pasha doesn't need support. Oh my goodness, that's exactly what they need.
Oh, now they're getting fired up. Pasha, what on earth was that? The third jump through the smoke as well. You just knew he was going to hit him after he got the first two. It was meant to be. 5-on-2 now, the force fight, 3 AWPs to the CTs. Steel and bolts to recover the round. Got about a minute to work with him. Now head towards B.
They're a team that can build off of this sort of momentum. All it takes is one big round, and there's 3 AWPs for Virtus.pro against 2 AKs. Taz is positioned close enough with the CZ that he can take advantage of Snacks' information. If Snacks doesn't hit the first shot, they'll likely flood to the site, which is exactly what's going to happen. So watch for Taz, and he gets both! The devil on top takes everyone down below.
What an absolutely nuts round there. Pasha, you're absolutely right. They're the sort of team that needs that one round that gets them fired up and realizing they're not out of the game just yet. 9-2 down. I wouldn't be surprised they finish this 9-6 now. They did take 3 AWPs in the previous round. Lovely shot from Pasha. Knows he has to work hard. The second was great, but what on earth was this? Boom! Through the smoke, picks it up. 3 AWPs down the CD side of Inferno. Neo with the third. He used to be the primary AWP for Virtus.pro. Let's see if he can get anything done here. Nades towards B at the start, and Pasha actively hunting for frags here down middle. It's Neo in the apartments with the third.
Neo. This is for the apartments.
Can you imagine?
That would have been incredible. Good leg shot onto Steel, at least, for damage. And they stay with a triple op. Fair enough. Why not just get 5 out, boys?
Well, we go towards the A side, towards apartments again. This will be a fast commitment, a change of pace. All 4 players here, flashed out by Henny. Neo with the AWP, it's not ideal. Surely he gets taken down here.
Good shot, Neo. Shotgun EWP, no chance on the second of Bialy. He's there. He's still not there to find another, but Neo still continues on the balcony. Goes back with the deagle. Flash himself back into position. That'll allow Bialy to repeat as well. They go for it. They'll push them back. Taz shows up. Taz puts them down, and this is the Virtus.pro coming alive.
Yeah, now they're getting stuck in. Then they get rid of, oh no, they still have 3 AWPs. I think, yeah, Neo's just like, you know what, that's enough for me.
Yeah, enough's enough. That was awkward.
I've had my fun. He hit some great shots, both nose goes right, but it's not an ideal weapon there. Absolutely not. He was lucky to stay alive as long as he did, bailed out by Bialy at that point. If he hits that shot, yeah, fair play, keep it, you're on fire, but I think this is the right choice. Get rid of that third AWP, and we go into another standard round here. Pasha now, he's looking like he's feeling it. 3 players towards B. It's a banana rush. I said it could be coming, Matt. Will it work out?
But there's still a few leagues off the shore. Well, they bite the flashing lure. There's 2 inside of the site still after getting 1 kill, and I assure you it's not what they expected it to be. And they'll still taste the hook of a doll hook in their lips because Snacks is still waiting. They're still waiting. It's as useless as a rod without a reel if he doesn't get baited in, but he's still gonna go. He's waiting, he's lining, he's got 1. They still have no idea, but he misses the second shot. Captain spotted napping with his first mate at the wheel. He's still alone and alive, down by bolts and a nade. Bialy goes back for more. Steel, Henny, and Bolts have the sight. Bialy has an AK. He's got one already. Good response from Henny. Great quick skills on the AWP, but Neo, the next in line. He's got it down to the one-on-one, no plant, 58 seconds. They can afford to get into an exchange before bomb does go down, and Henny is more than welcome to it because the AWP has a favorable angle at new box. Only 2 ways to get through for Neo. Flash was already thrown. He has no further nades to work with. There may be some down toward coffins. I didn't quite catch what was left on the players that passed. And Henny's starting to second guess himself. And Neo's playing it well because he was going to commit to the plant, but Henny pays off with patience. And Immortals get their first round in a few. But there's still money on the Virtus Pro side as we head to round 15. Looking 10-4, they want 5 on the board.
I said it was coming. It's been such a default, slow-paced game from Immortals. The moment they throw that B rush in there, it's going to be chaotic. And Snacks, he could have caused so much damage there as well. The fact he was stuck in the cubby for so long behind the smoke, but he's had the worst weapon for the job. As soon as you fire one off with a 2.5 reset, you've got to try and get back in the cover. If he doesn't nail that second shot, he's done for. Could have been something marvelous, but Neo in the 1-for-1 clutch couldn't pull it off. Great play from Henny, very disciplined, very patient. And we go into the final round here, but it's KNG with the AK-47 headshot. That's going to be their cue to go. This is classic Immortals now. Get one kill, fully commit, but Neo's all going down by the fight.
Flash high though, and they're still pushing. He's not going to have the gun drawn. He's not going to be ready in time for Lucas. Bialy now has all the pressure applied to him because he has no idea what's going on toward quad. He knows they're in the sight. Actually, I'm not even sure he spotted both going through the smoke, so they're there, they're planting, and Lucas is watching him. And 11 rounds looks the likely score for Immortals. Smoke off in front of Library.
Yeah, well, no saving now. Last round, 4 versus 2 situation. Snacks and Taz without kids here as the bomb gets planted as well. Snacks found. Taz, you've got an impossible task ahead of you. Is there any chance you can make any sort of dent in this one?
Smoke down the first head of Massive Gap. He's already tagged. They're going to have heard that. They're going to know Lucas is swinging. They're spraying, and they'll find it. 11-4 for Immortals, an incredibly good half. You've got to give them credit. They controlled the pace the whole way through, and even when the economy got close, they won the important rounds, and they kept the momentum.
Just really nice game of CS for Immortals. I can't commend them enough for that. In terms of the defaults, the final plays, the baiting out of the utility from the CTs, controlling that money as well, reading that situation perfectly. They didn't lose anything to the pistols, really. They didn't lose any rounds to any Deagles, 5.7s, and that's very rare in CSGO to have a clean half like that. The one round they did lose to pistols when the double orbs was out, and we had a completely nuts round from Pasha. That's understandable. Those will happen from time to time, but still, they'll be very happy with that. 11-4 on the T half. A huge struggle now for Virtus Pro, but if ever there was a team to do it, and a major semi-final, this would be the 5 men you want on the server. Here are the highlights right now. You have Lucas doing some good work there on the A side, even more so that final kill on Taz. So, pistol buys come in, just before we get into it. 2 smokes, a few flashbangs here, Molotovs as well with HE grenades, 3 of those. That's quite rare on the T side. They'll be using those towards Banana, presumably. This could be the straight up Banana commitment. If you get a kill with these HEs at the very start, you can just get into that B site. I'm sure that's what they'll be throwing them at the start. So to Lucas and Henny, quite a formidable duo, as indeed Virtus Pro do head in. The nades land, but no damage inflicted. It's a passive hold from the CT side.
Push aggressive, Neo jumps across. He's already actually bypassed Lucas, but not the twin brother Henny. And Lucas will find the second on entry. It's Bialy that goes down. Fast play from KNG to go for the flank. Snacks has to shut them both down. And he might. Oh, he might indeed! How does Snacks always find position? He is so sneaky, and with the bomb planted, he may have just saved them the round, and we're in a 2 versus 2. Oh! Found in the smoke by Henny as he gets aggressive. Crosshair placement, I think, may have revealed that because he was staring down the wall the whole time. Taz, not your usual suspect in a clutch, and he gets shut down. It'll be 12 rounds for Immortals. Snacks did all that he could.
He thought that was enough, right? When he has those sort of plays, he lets people walk by him. And the discipline and the patience as well to find the 2 warm bullets at the perfect time. Wasn't quite enough in the retake. Stellar from Immortals, I have to say. Lucas especially staying alive for that amount of time. He's the original B player. Goes to Ruins after finding 2 kills. Waits for his teammates, a shot through the smoke. I want to see that from his POV if we can. That seemed absolutely nuts. We'll see what happens here. His Snacks. It doesn't get much better than this. You think that's the round done. But no, it wasn't. It is indeed 12-4 now after winning the pistol. And we've got the force spike coming in from Virtus Pro. 1 AK-47 for Taz. Neo with the head armor as well. Not everyone commits, will be fine. So we're going to the first gun round. Taz probably goes down to a Tech 9. That's if they don't win this round. It's It's an audacious approach, we'll see if it works out, but it's up to Taz now to deliver something quite special at a desperate time.
And they have to go for it. Pasha's already pushed down. Rush and Banana. If they had a bit of crossfire established, which Taz does get at least one, they could have capitalized on that. When they get out in the open at the top of the stairs, they'll smoke it off. Instead, Lucas sprays through to find one. Thankfully, for the sake of Virtus Pro, it's not Taz on the AK that goes down. They will pick up the SMG that they pushed with. The first kill found against Henny, left that in the open. And they'll adjust it, take the palm back over toward the apartment, stack position toward the balcony itself.
Still a 4-on-4. Time to work up here as well, but not really much in terms of the old utility. It's going to be a nice position from Bolts there, but could get caught out. Nice HGs at the BLA, take him down, doesn't work out. They've got to commit at this point, but Bolts mowing them down with the SMG. I think he's done enough. His teammates rotate in as well, but still taken down. Snacks has a chance here with the AK-47.
Oh!
What on earth was that?
More than a chance! He picks up the AK from Taz and gets them all! Low HP found the headshot, and if we get the replay, watch the spray transfer. Lightning fast from Snacks, and they'll steal the round. Gets tagged, stays on 100 and down to 4 as he gets the second after hitting KNG. My God, that was fast.
Taz couldn't believe it. It's just like, what in God's name was that? Oh my goodness, they're back just when things are looking bleak. The AK-47, the solo AK, it's made an appearance here once at the major so far, and the hands are simple. It delivers once again. Snacks, that was something special. Round number 18, CZs, the Eagles 5-7s. It's a forced fight from Immortals in return, but Virtus Pro now. That's the lifeline they needed. It's got to take it round by round at this point. Immortals to try and give them the exact same treatment in return here. Can they do anything with the CZs?
Snacks is a hero. Sits with the AWP on the bait, almost gets the pistol round back. Twice overlooked in that time.
Yeah, he's turned up the play today.
How fast was that? They wouldn't even known what hit them. KNG does go back out for one more. They've got to be careful because the SMG goes to an untradeable position at the arches. Taz tries to spray it down. Him backing off is going to cause for concern as well, because if he rotates to the library, what's going on around Moto? Where's the second player that's waiting to be pulled towards? Oh, touchdown with the nade. Snacks goes to 50. Check at the smoke, and rightfully so. But they'll back off. They don't have enough information to commit. They can't give away any guns. Lucas doesn't land with the deagle in hand. Smoke down, slows the play. 30 seconds to go, and Henny's gonna wait oranges 2. So a little bit further back, it means they're deeper in the sight by the time he's spotted. Push through, blinded up, but overlooked. The gap inside of the smoke cost them. Pasha's gotta push all the way around. Henny does get back in, and Lucas is joined. They've got it all in control. A pinch, a play with 15 seconds, and it's down to just Taz with bomb still in hand. Low HP, gets the second, but Bolts is in better position with the AK picked up. And another round stolen back, Immortals regain control.
You could see Virtus Pro don't feel comfortable in those sort of rounds. The game plan wasn't as clean, wasn't as crisp as what Immortals are bringing to the table on their anti-force buys. You could see they were trying to gain that map control, find the first pick. As soon as Immortals got their first kill, Virtus Pro went into panic mode. The smokes, I'm not really sure what they were going for there. You can see that doesn't really make much sense. There's lots of angles and gaps available for them. CTs weren't flashed. That was sloppy, unfortunately. As he round number 19, 13-5 has to be the force buy in return. Snacks, he's got the AK-47. Tech-9's around him, trying to find another wondrous play here, but I don't think it's going to happen because they're getting completely melted by the Molotovs here. Near down to 30 points of health, and the TT's looking to battle here as well.
Good find. They pull Henny out for the depths of the site. He had no one with him. The problem is the gun's not yet grabbable. It is as soon as they go for entry. Smoke down to CT. That should be soon. Bolts. That's damage in. So much damage that Lucas is just going to be on cleanup, and that's exactly the case. So well controlled and contained again by the Brazilians. 14 rounds, 2 to go. And MAP1 will be done.
Look at the money map. What do you do here? Pick your poison time, really. You either allow Immortals, take an eco and allow Immortals to get to match point, or map point, I should say, with 10 in the bag, or you force buy and try and steal it away. Looks like they have to allow them, not purchasing a single thing here. Glocks, 10 map points for Immortals. That's okay. If they somehow win their round at 1 PT50, I don't see a world that that happens, but we'll see if they can cause any sort of damage here.
And they Go again, fine from Taz. So they find the opening pick. That's not the problem, it's the guns and the lack thereof. As Taz gets steal as well, Bolts is still able to resume the lead for Immortals. Pick your poison. Poison will be played for overtime at this point unless Taz does something, I would say, even bigger than what Snacks did in New York at this point. Goes all the way back down to the bottom of the alt mid. Bomb's dropped as well at the bottom of Banana. That's not even the concern at this point for Immortals because that's fine to know where the bomb is. They know where he is, so they're just controlling it on the map. Real escape. Young Brazilians have looked remarkably solid in this game.
Yeah,
good read from Taz. Good read from Taz because he does shoot toward the top of mid and then baits in the second player, Bolts, who's going to give him a gun to work with. It's the last thing you want to give Taz right now. Tag onto Henny as well.
He's got time to win this. There is a chance. He's got 3 kills so far. Immortals, who have been so sound in terms of their anti-force buy approaches so far, giving a little bit too much away. They're still fine. The bomb's still down at Banana. One of them locking him in at T-spawn as well. Top of B will be Henny. He's got the M4 in hand, and Taz, he's just hoping that someone makes a mistake here. I don't think he gets this.
It's peculiar positioning from Lucas. The timing, I think, is going to be off because Taz went to top mid. Lucas was expecting him to go down towards spawn and cross. Thankfully, he gets back, so they have an angle to watch both, and he does catch Taz. Best efforts, good attempt. Getting the AK nearly made it possible.
And it's not going to be a popular opinion in this building, Matt, but you have to think back to the rounds Virtus.pro have won so far. None of them have really been that convincing. It's all hero plays from one way or the other. The double up set up, the 3 kills through smoke, Snacks going nuts towards the B site, and they haven't really arrived in Inferno. It's been some really exciting moments for them, but Immortals have looked at the better side so far. This is their map pick, and we'll see whether Virtus.pro maybe bounce back from this one. I'm not sure 10 rounds to be possible at this point, but we'll see what they can do. Round number 21, 5 AK-47s. Smoke's available, flashbangs there as well. Double orb set up there. This is where Immortals are the most deadly. KNG and Henny holding lines. Flashy plays, and Henny, he's delivering the first shot, taking down Neo.
Beginning to an end and a ceaseless stumbling on. They'll go back toward the same position. Henny wants more. Good timing on the flash. Looks down to avoid the second one, which isn't common on an AWP to move so quickly. And he gets the shot on Pasha as well. Jumps over further information, goes for the wall on Snacks. 2 men down in no map control for Virtus.pro. No round aside from an eco in the second for VP. Snacks gets a little bit of Banana control to work with. Taz and Biawi, though, go back toward A, which has not yet been contested too often or commonly. And KNG on the second AWP is in a position where he's going to get smoked off at Arch. That pushes him back, but it still means they have to confront him eventually. Look at Snacks' lurk, though. Double smoke. This could be huge. This could be everything for Snacks. Lucas is going to have no idea. He's opened up position. Bomb's heading back toward B. If he gets the second kill as well, oh, he doesn't realize he's not going to go for Henny. He's going to actually cut off rotations, but doesn't get the gun in time. A bit of confusion on the call. I think Bialy was hoping they would rotate back over toward B. If he just circled to find Henny, they may have opened B, but now it's all to play for. 4 versus 2, 4 versus 1, and it's all going to be done. Bolts gives Immortal the win. MAP1 in a best of 3, it's 2 to go. But it might not even get that far if they keep playing as they are.
Yeah, unfortunately with Virtus.pro, as I mentioned, just before that one concluded, in terms of their general approach, it seemed that they were lacking. The rounds they were winning was down to some amazing plays from individuals. It wasn't a team effort. It felt like 16-5, that kind of tells the whole story. Sure, we had some really hype moments there, some crazy kind of rounds that were unexpected and some really clever stuff from Snacks, but generally, Immortals, they did look the better side, and that's understandable. They have beaten one of the best teams at this event on that map earlier. They looked great throughout. And the T-side especially, I was just very happy with the general approach. It's a nice default play. As I mentioned, I was hoping the Banana Rush comes in. Just as they're getting used to what you're doing, they take a pause, you throw that Banana Rush in, and it actually just set the tone throughout. They were in complete control of that game. Some amazing moments from Virtus.pro, to be fair. It's nice to see them. It's quite promising, I think, knowing that Snacks is playing like that today. And we move on to Mirage next, and I think that's when they start arriving potentially.
I mean, hopefully, yeah. It's a map they're known for. Again, Snacks is a player who always shows up on it and very, very creative. But I don't know about you, Henry. Either I need to stop drinking tequila or get your deodorant to sponsor me, or we're going to go back to the desk and Paul.
Yeah, it does look pretty hot out there, Matt. I hope you get a chance to get a break in between the two maps. Game one goes the way of the Brazilians. They move to just one map away from playing in their first ever major final against Gambit. Can Virtus.pro come back? I'm sure that the crowd are certainly hoping so. They're going to take a break, clear their heads, and perhaps set their sights on the second map. We've done the same thing here at the panel with Moses and Yanko to break things down. Yanko, we'll start with you. That's a great performance by Immortals on Inferno.
Absolutely, spectacular one, and especially by Lucas, who had a great game individually, but just the way that Immortals approached the game is the way they were supposed to do it, without any fear. You saw a lot of contact plays, grouping up, even trying to end rounds early and then throwing in one or two very slow rounds to just change the pace pretty much. And VP needs to realize Immortals are not just going to roll over and die here because of them playing in front of their home crowd. Like, they cannot afford to underestimate them. They need to step up their game and treat them like an actual contender, an actual opponent.
Didn't seem too affected by the crowd though, Immortals, did they?
Well, they silenced him pretty quick and they kept him quiet for the most part, always responding, and that was the thing. Virtus.pro got into this economic hell, and we always talk about how important the economy is across pretty much every map at Counter-Strike. It's a huge portion of the game, but the reason why Inferno is called, Kerrigan in an interview said, economy is king on Inferno, and because the reason for that is once Immortals has control of it, Virtus.pro is forced to play so passive because you don't have utility. You can't do the pop flash peaks that could slow down the contact plays. That would have been a great counter for it if they could just find some timing. They had so many rounds where Immortals were just able to walk up into choke points, but they can't do that because they don't have the utility. They can't challenge top mid control because they don't have the smokes, they don't have the Molotovs and the flashes to fall back if needed if they do get pressured. And Immortals was just able to take advantage of all of it. That defense over at the A bomb site was so passive and so late into the half. The only really effective thing that Virtus.pro seemed to have going for them on the defensive side of things was the AWPs, was Snacks and Pasha when they had the ops. I mean, there was a brilliant run from Pasha, and Snacks over at B a couple times got some picks, but that's just not enough, especially considering it's the most expensive weapon in the game.
You can see the Immortals team didn't celebrate quite as animatedly as they usually do. There was a little bit more reservedness in there because they know there's only half the job done.
Which is very scary, right? Because that means they're just treating this. This is just the first step. We need to win one of the remaining two maps, and we're in the grand final. They really do seem more control and more focused, than what we're used to from them usually.
This team has grown. We've seen them grown since the major qualifier when they were like that. When Steel was saying, we do shut down and our comms do get bad and we do have to rely on pure emotion and make sure we're playing at the best that we possibly can. This is starting to look like a whole different team.
It is, isn't it? I wonder if some advice from other Brazilians has been coming their way over the last couple of days. The scoreboard presented to you by Boomio is on your screen right now. Shows Lucas with what doesn't look that flashy, 25-8, but 1.88 KD and then 111.3 ADR in there. That's a monster game.
It's very reminiscent from the match we just saw, right? The other semifinal where Mo had that incredible game on the first map. This is another player. I mean, I mentioned he'd done it a couple times, but still surprising to see Luke's at the top here.
And what you hate to see is Bialy and Snacks at the bottom of the scoreboard on the side of VP, not just because they're the ones expected to carry the most weight, but also you look at the positions, right? Bialy towards that pit area, towards A with Neo. That's where VP was struggling a lot with the explosive plays from Immortals out of the A apartments with just a simple pop flash, and then Snacks towards B. Yes, he would get an op entry kill sometimes, but then he would re-peek unnecessarily, give that advantage away. He wanted to be aggressive, wanted to be effective, wanted to try and give his team an opening, but more often than not, he was getting shut down.
Yeah, I mean, there were some highlights from Pasha. There was some great play by Neo occasionally, and Taz put 17 on the board. And I know when he watches this back, he'll probably message me and say, I don't care that I top scored. It makes no difference we lost the game. But at least he's having a good